he's the man everyone's talking about.
Heavyweight champion and Gypsy King Tyson Fury is here, fresh from his win against Deontay Wilder, and he's brought Paris with him to the studio. Lovely to see them both.
Yeah, he may have made his mark as one of the greatest boxers of all time, but we think he's a bit of a softie at heart. Take a look at this.
Oh, and Tyson, his wife Paris, join us right now. You
Well,
big
good.
softie.
I know. It's so sweet.
I was hoping that wasn't going to get shown.
Oh, it's lovely.
We'll come to that in just a moment, letting the cameras into your house. But it's so lovely to see you both. Met your dad the other day. He came in.
I know, yeah.
Delightful to see him
Yeah.
as well. We felt
Very
really
proud of you.
close to what was going on, especially in the lead up, talking to you about how you felt. How did you feel on the day? Were you confident?
I was very confident. I knew I'd done a lot of training and I'd done everything correct. A few fights before that, there was a lot of cameras involved and there was a lot of media stuff and a lot of interviews and all that type of thing. So my brother Shane, he decided to take it upon himself and say, right, no more of this. It's got to stop. This is not a movie. This is real life and very dangerous sport if it's not taken seriously. So he stopped all that sort of stuff and concentrated on what we was doing. And I knew I was going in there 100% confident that I could deliver what I was saying.
And for that win, that moment, finally being crowned the winner, taking home that belt, just that feeling, all that hard work paying off, how does that feel?
It's almost an anticlimax. It's like you elevate yourself in the mind and your body and everything to go and box at this level, and then everything, nothing means anything apart from the fight on the night. And then it's almost like you win and it's like, oh well, I've done that now and then I've got to slide down the other side.
You did that with Klitschko, though, didn't you? But you did it big time after you won there. So you're not in that place.
No, I feel fine. You know, I've learned over the years now to maintain the mental health problems, which is training on a daily basis and eating healthy and staying active and keeping routine.
But it's still there, isn't it? Every time he comes home, it's all, like he's explaining there. I've dealt with that for a week now, and everyone keeps saying, how's Tyson? I'm going, he's great. And I'm thinking, he's coming there, he's getting there.
He's getting there.
It usually takes me about 2 weeks to get back to normal after a massive fight, something like that.
Well, after Klitschko, you said, I didn't get help because I didn't think I needed to.
That was
and
right.
Now I think a lot of these things is identifying what can go on in your head.
Exactly.
Once you've identified it, does it make it easier for you, Paris?
Yes, it does, because years ago, when he first used to, like, roll off the rails or get upset or just be down and depressed, you used to wonder whatever's the matter with you. You couldn't understand. Where now I understand it, I accept it. Even just coming down here to come onto the show, there was ups and downs, highs and lows. And it's just, you roll with it. Now I roll with it. People who know us know to roll with it.
Yeah.
Where before it was just, you'd cringe and think, oh, he's being very quiet, he's being very...
Is that how it shows itself? Quietness or you know, sort of introverted?
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll ask him a question and I won't get an answer, and I think, he's going for it again today. Here we go. But...
And the thing is, like you said, it takes you, you know, you have that massive build-up, you have to move away, you're away from the kids for a long time. Of course, this is something you love and you've worked so hard to do. Then you get the belt and then you've got the come down the other side. But this continues. I mean, there are more fights. This kind of roller coaster is your life. There's more to come.
That's right. It's a roller coaster of emotions and everything else. So, and to be away from the kids and away from getting up early in the morning for the school runs and the crying and all that sort of stuff and the screaming and shouting, it takes a lot to come back to that after being away for nearly 3 months to get adjusted back to that life.
Yeah.
It's a total different life completely, being a dad at home or an athlete abroad.
But when will it be enough, do you think? I mean, you've obviously got the third fight that's contractually that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know that there's been talk about, you know, fighting Anthony Joshua, hopefully at some point. Will that be it then? Is that the end goal?
Yes, I've got 2 more fights left, and then we're going to really think about what we're going to do from there.
Yeah,
because, you know,
retire.
how long is a piece of string? I'm undefeated in 31 professional fights. This is my 12th year as a professional. So, yeah, it's
You
what
want him
do I
home.
want.
I want him home. It's a long time. When you go away for 8 weeks, if you do that 2 or 3 times a year, that's a quarter of the year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quarter more than that.
Even more.
Yeah.
My
Well,
maths
your
ain't
dad
great.
hinted that after this match that he would have liked perhaps to have seen you
Walk
back
away.
off a little bit. Having said that, I suppose if he's activated this third fight, then you can't walk away. You couldn't.
No,
walk away.
because
You're
I'll be in breach
contractually
of contract,
obliged,
yeah.
You're contractually obliged to do it. Now then, so Deontay said that when he entered the ring in a mask and an armoured costume, which was a tribute to Black History Month, that he claimed that the costume weighed 40 pounds, and that was the reason he lost the fight. He said on Yahoo News, the simple fact is that my uniform was way too heavy for me. I didn't have the legs right from the beginning of the fight. My legs had just shot all the way through.
Tell him what he said in another interview, though, about what he trains in daily.
He said he trains in a 45-pound weighted vest every day.
So he sort of contradicted himself.
I can understand where he's coming from, because there always, in every fighter's mind, there's always got to be a reason why they've lost.
Yep.
It can never be the simple fact of, I wasn't good enough on the night and I lost to a better guy. It's always got to be, the camp was wrong, it was the trainer's fault, it was the suit, it was me toe. It was always something a problem.
Yeah.
See, with me, it's if I'm injured or whatever the problem is, it's like, OK, the performance wasn't great, I'm going to move on and crack on.
So you've had one draw, which you should have won anyway, which you did win, and one win. How do you feel about the next meeting?
You know, I beat him the first time, I beat him the second time, and I surely will beat him the third time. The one thing I will say about Deontay Wilder is he's a very worthy opponent, and he's a very dangerous opponent, and he has that eraser power of 43 knockouts, only the one defeat. So you can never write a guy off like that, and it's always one punch away from disaster with Deontay, because, like he says, he famously says, they have to be correct for 36 minutes, I have to be correct for 1 second.
Yeah.
And that's so true.
Anthony Joshua has got 4 belts. You've got the 1, and then the way boxing works is you beat him, you get all his belts. That would be the fight of your life. I mean, you would be the undisputed heavyweight champion.
I've already
of the world.
been the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. When I beat Klitschko, I had all the belts.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, Anthony Joshua's only got my leftovers, because I never lost them belts.
Yeah.
I had to vacate them for mental health problems to focus on my...
They're yours.
Yeah, they're my belts.
Yeah.
It's just keeping them warm.
Until a man's defeated in a boxing ring, how can you claim to be the champion when you haven't beat the champion? I beat the dominant heavyweight of our era of 26 title defences and went to Germany to do it. Then I've been an opponent again. I went to America and beat the guy that nobody wanted to fight.
Yeah.
And then, I'll come back and I'll have 2 more fights, and hopefully we'll sail
the
into
world.
the sunset.
And then that'll be it. But because the kids, I know that to begin with, Paris, you didn't want the kids watching the fights, but then obviously their friends are watching them, and it's their dad, so they do see it more now. How do they feel watching it? Is it quite hard for them?
Well,
to
I
see
saw
the
on the series we've done, on number 2, we actually got to see what they see, because they was being filmed at home, and my girl was bursting in tears. It was the fight where Tyson had the cut on his eye.
Yeah.
And it was horrible to watch. Me and him watched it just the other night, because obviously with Tyson being in Vegas, he'd seen some of it, but not all.
Yeah.
And to watch her crying, it was terrible. But she's 10, and the other one who wants to watch it is 8, and they both want to be involved. They want to watch. They know Dad is like the champion of the world. He's a boxer, and everybody in school talks about him, so they want to be involved as well. But that's why we've never let them come to the fights. We've always tried to keep that distance.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's tough.
They're
for
getting
you
older
to sit there
now.
and watch that.
What is it
Yeah.
like for you to sit there and watch?
It's horrible to watch. It's not a pleasant thing. I'm sitting there trying to, take every punch and dodge every punch with him, so I don't look very elegant when I'm there, neither. But it's a hard thing to watch. It's not nice to be there, but you've got to feel like you're there to support.
The documentary that follows your lives, I mean, like we just showed that clip there, and there's some really lovely moments. Part of the reason for you doing this was because you felt that people had kind of preconceived ideas of you personally, you as a couple, your family. Do you think that this has gone in some way to change that? What sort of response have you had?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. All the response. Really, Tyson hasn't seen a lot of it with him being in camp in Vegas. But I was always a bit weary when we first done it. I thought, what's everyone going to say? They're diving right into your life. They're literally living in your front room, and the full world gets to see it. But it's been amazing. Everyone's got to see the true side of our life and his personality, my personality, what we do.
How have you felt about it?
You know, I've learned a valuable lesson in life. You can't please everybody. And the only person I need to please is sat next to me. So, everyone's got different opinions on everything, so...
Yeah. Were you nervous about letting the camera?
I was quite nervous about it, and it was a big decision for me because I had a trust issue with with media and stuff. So when I was approached for it, I was not for it at all. And then when me and her had to sit down about it and spoke about it, and we decided that we was going to let the cameras in and show an in-depth story on our life.
I always said that people don't know Tyson, and if anyone who meets him, instantly they'll say, "Oh, I didn't think he was like this. I thought he was horrible." So then when you get that,
you.
yeah, that's what we always heard.
Cheers.
So over time, I said, well, if we do this, then the world can get to actually see you, and whether they love you or hate you, at least they have got a true you instead of what's been put out there in the past.
I mean, it sounds like you're kind of the heavyweight champion. Are you the heavyweight champion at home?
You know, I saw a thing on a TV show a while ago, and it said, like, the man's the head of the house, but the woman is the neck. And she rules the head. And I thought that sounded pretty cool.
That's amazing.
So what about, I mean, I would look too far up front, but for you, you know, these fights, hopefully massive success. Do you think about, you know, how you will use your talent and skill in the future? Your dad was talking about maybe training of some sort, or what do you think you want to do with it?
I'm opening up a local boxing club now where I am. I'm in the process of doing it to give, like I had a chance as a kid to walk in a boxing club and become who I am today, then give somebody else a chance to do the same thing, because you never really know what a child can achieve and when given the opportunity. So
Would you want your kids to do it?
for me, it's up to them.
Right.
You know, I'm a bit all against dream crushers.
Yeah.
I just want to be positive and encourage the kids to follow their dreams like I followed mine. And, you know, within my career, from the beginning, like as a young boy, so many people told me that it wasn't possible to do, and the odds of 7 billion people in the world and to be the heavyweight champion of the world, there's so much against you and all that. So I know what it's like to be told you can't do something. So I want to encourage people as much as I can to say, you know what, anything is possible as long as you believe and you trust it and you follow it. And obviously you need the talent as well. Yeah. But anything you want to do in life can be done if you dedicate enough to it.
What would you like to see him do?
I think that's the right thing for him to do. I think if he retires, I don't think he could ever just leave boxing, because it's so much a big part of his life and what he's done from such a young age. So I think if he actually did open a gym and if he did stay involved, he'll always be at the fights, he'll always be involved in boxing in some way. So I think that'd be great. And I also know that Tyson loves to put time into other people and, like, try and give them that bit of inspiration. So I think that's a good thing to do. I mean, we've got other businesses that we're involved in, but there's no real heart in it, is there? It's not like a pleasure, is it? Where with boxing, it's his pleasure.
Yeah.
At the moment, my hobby is my job. I don't have anything else. So when I switch off from work, I switch off from my hobbies as well. So hopefully when the time's right, I'll find something new that's going to occupy my time and give me something to strive for.
Yeah.
Well, it's a long way off. I mean, you've got these other challenges to come yet, of which I'm sure you'll be triumphant. And it's so lovely to see you both.
Yeah, it
Thank
really
you very
is.
much. It's
Really
nice to be
well
back on the
done
show.
again.
Proud of you.
Yeah, really
Thank you very
well.
much, guys.
Thank you.
The
Thank you.
final episode of Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, airs tomorrow night at 9 o'clock on ITV, and you can catch up with those if you haven't seen them already. Thank you both. Thank you.
Thank you.